Hi everyone, it's Parul here, your usual host, life and leadership coach. And today I have a special guest, another episode that I've always bring to you something to help you to boost your confidence. And today I have my special guest, Susanna Beatrice, with me. Susanna is a transformational leader, a speaker, and a mentor. Thank you, Susanna, for joining us and giving us your time and willing to share your tips to help our audience to improve their confidence. Okay. Now, Susanna got lots of experience of helping women, especially to heal. And she's been in this field for a long time. So I'll be asking Susanna some questions and we'll take it from there. Welcome on board, Susanna. So what I'd like to ask you first is if you could tell us a bit about yourself and your journey to become a transformational leader.
Yeah, thank you, Parul. And yeah, thank you so much for inviting me to do this. I really love to be part of more, collaborate with more powerful women sharing good work in the world. Yeah, so I appreciate you for that. So my journey, how did I become who I became? Since I was a child, I felt drawn to something greater than myself. It was as if one part of me sniffed that it was something wrong or off with society in the way it was delivered to us. Yeah. And I didn't have an easy journey. I grew up in a Jehovah's Witness family. I was sexually abused. I was bullied for being ugly in school. I started with drugs when I was really young, alcohol. I had a lot of sex just to get love, appreciation, and approval. I was really lost as a young woman. I didn't know my boundaries. I didn't know my worth. So I was quite distorted in my self-view. But my spirit was high. So I decided to, by the age of 17, I left society. I left school. I was studying design and I left design school to travel the world. And I started to produce piercing jewelries and clothes in Bali. And then I traveled around the world to sell this on markets, to shops and so on. And the holistic and spiritual approach has always called my heart, and for no reason at all more than the inner pull. So I felt I belonged, there was something more to the world. Yeah. So I was studying already in the late 90s, when I was maybe 18, 19 years old. I studied transcendental meditation, Ayurveda, yoga, and I kind of alternate between being a hardcore party girl with studying a holistic approach to life. And somewhere in the start of 2000, I was 25, and I could just feel that I had enough. I had enough of living in distorted relationships. I had enough of drugs. I had enough. I just knew I needed to change. I was in a really bad relationship, and I got pregnant with a man who I thought had killed his own parents even. And I just had this wake up call. I need to change something now. So I went to take my purpose on for real. Yes, I went to study herbal medicine. And in this school, I met a man, a healer, who is still my mentor today. And he turned to me. We were sitting in a circle, and he was working on each and every one sitting in the circle. And he turned to me at one point and he said, "I'm going to make you shine like the sun you truly are." And in that moment, something inside of me clicked. And I decided that I will never, ever put myself in a situation where a man will treat me in that same way again. And I understood that, you know, the low self-esteem I was run by and what I've exposed myself for. So I really started to take my personal journey very serious. And from that day, I discovered, you know, everything between, you know, heaven and earth of healing modalities, shamanism. I lived in the jungle of Peru for 1.5 years, studied with the indigenous. I've studied plenty of different healing modalities, and I was really curious about life. And the thing that was pulling me was really my inner calling, my heart. So I didn't, you know, that there was no logic to what I was doing. It was just, I wanted the next, I wanted more. I wanted to know more about how we function as people, how I function as a person. And then about 12 years ago, I came across sexual healing and Tantra and holistic sexual awakening community. And when I went through one of those sessions, I had a profound insight, because I learned that we can never be whole if we don't include our sexuality as well, because that's really the core, not to our power. And also that in that moment when I went through, like, not only my own sexual abuse, it was also the lineage, generational abuse that went through my body. And it had such a deep impact on me. So I decided that I would learn this and share this with as many people as possible on the planet. So I started to train in this modality called de-armoring and sexual healing. And I opened my own school. So I'm one of the pioneers in Sweden, even in Europe, who works with this practice and who founded one of the first schools within this art form. And we have now trained about 400 therapists. We have worked with many hundreds other coming through that particular school. But the core of my work is really that I want to contribute to an awakened society. So I want to provide people with tools to understand that life is so much more than what we are taught in school or in general life. Yeah. So I'm really, where I am today is really a combination of, by now 25 years experience of discovering my own inner world, working with thousands of people all over the world, and being deeply driven by the passion and my purpose to contribute to a larger positive change.
Well, thank you very much, Susanna, sharing your story. It's very fascinating, and I'm sure our audience would benefit from that. It's interesting, very young age, we decided to travel, but within your challenging lifestyle, you found something to move forward.
Yeah.
And you went studying, because sometimes people spend years still in the situation and not having the awakening call. Yeah. And you had that, you found your awakening call and, and your true purpose. And that's why people, I've sometimes worked with women who's been in domestic violence for 30, 40 years, and they can't get out. They don't see beyond. There is a life. Exactly. A woman being a woman doesn't mean you have to suffer. No. You have the most power. You have the power to bring a life. Yeah. There is nobody else in the planet apart from women can bring a life, Exactly. And you tap into that. So Susanna, I want to ask you, my next question you kind of answer. I was going to ask you what motivated you to become a transformational leader. You mentioned about anything else you want to add in?
What motivated me? It is the burning desire. Like it's my purpose. It's really my burning desire to contribute. That's why I do what I do always. Yeah. That's what And when I hear you share just with your work with women and domestic abuse, etc. So for me, this is crucial, and I wish we could have more of those tools in society to help women understand their self-worth, their boundaries, the ways to deal and communicate with that. Because most people don't have roadmaps. We don't have roadmaps how to be human in society. We learn to be some robots, and then we have all this repression, generational repression. And it's really important that we empower, we provide tools, not only so we stop this blame game and the war between the masculine and the feminine as well.
Absolutely. I think definitely we need to work together. Yeah. Instead of blaming each other, both need to understand each other. And what we've seen, when women get the support of the men, they shine. Exactly. So it's really important, really important. Men also need to understand that we all human beings. Nobody is greater than anybody. We all human. Exactly. And I think when both sides understand that, it's become easier, and I think that's what we've seen in centuries. Women keep fighting because they're not getting the right treatment. Exactly. And we've seen now last week, the whole ruling on America, it just turned everything upside down. My friends are crying, it's just like, so is what role men can play in this challenging time. That's another game, Yeah.
And when you say that, I have to add something, because that makes me furious. I get chills over my body, because this is such an old school leadership. This is a dinosaur mentality. It's like, it's time to wake up to a new era of leadership, a new form of supporting each other in the world. And that might sound like a fluffy hippie, oh, we're all going to be so supportive, but this is actually real. This needs some radical change and radical action. But in order for that to happen, I believe that people need to understand that they have the power within. Nobody can control another. Nobody can do that. We are autonomous beings. We have a choice. And if everybody wake up to that and understand that, the outside can never control us. But we don't know, because people don't know, you know? And
Absolutely.
and this is where I'm like, this is what drives me.
No, absolutely. I think, Susanna, a great point you mentioned is we have the inner power.
Yeah.
Not to focus on what the government or what the court have decided for us.
No, exactly.
We can change our life. We just need to keep focus and motivate ourselves instead of looking at what's happening outside the world.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Great. So we're going to go deeper now. Obviously, you got your whole schooling, whole purpose, and you got your set of structure that you teach people. Mm-hmm. What I'd like to ask you is, you talk about your three powers, power, pleasure, profit.
Yeah.
I'd like to ask you if you could share, your 5 top tips for our audience, how they can heal themselves from whatever happened in the past. Or if they're stuck in a situation, they don't know how to get out of the situation, mental block, how they can move forward. So if you could share your 5 top tips, that would be fantastic.
Okay, I will do that. So let's package them into 5P, the 5P formula.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
Yeah. So, and the first one I would say is to learn about your power. And when I speak about power, that is boundaries, that is self-worth, that is communication skills, that is vulnerability. That is a daring to look for help, ask for help. It depends on who you are, where you are. But power for me is really, that's the fundament. Yeah. Boundaries, communication, self-worth. Yeah. Where am I still in the way of myself there? Where can I support myself? Where can I find healers, mentors, support systems in order to go further? Yeah. And the next step into confidence and to heal from that is also passion. So I believe that we all are born with a gift to give to the world. Everybody have a unique gift. And especially if you've gone through, like I did, I've gone through, sexual abuse and a lot of trauma in my life, but I turned it around into my superpower. So find your passion, like what am I here to serve? What am I here to give? How can I contribute to other people? What am I passionate about? What would I like to give to the world? Because that stimulates joy, curiosity, and a desire to move forward, and it enhances power. Yeah. So that is like passion. Find your passion, live true to your passion. The third one is pleasure, which is one of my favorites. Yeah. Pleasure, and that it includes sexual energy, which is incredibly powerful. When we learn about sexuality, far away from the distorted way that we see in society, but we understand the power of sexual energy as a creative life force, and that it is a power. I mean, the power of a woman really sits in her womb. We have so much wisdom in the womb. We have so much wisdom in our bodies. So if we can learn to work through the pleasure, not only does it heal our bodies, it fuels it, with healthy endorphins and chemicals that makes us happy and joyful. It also connects us with the mystery, I would say. Plus, it's really nice to live a life where we live in pleasure. We surround ourselves with beautiful things. We have beautiful clothes. This is really a feminine practice. So we apply that, what makes us happy, joyful, and confident. Yeah. And then purpose, which goes together with passion, of course, like really be determined to live your life on purpose. Yeah. Be determined to live your life on purpose. Like life goes so quick. There is no time to waste. And to understand that, what am I here to contribute with? Live it intentionally. Every day, live it intentionally. What do I want to do with my life? Live it on purpose. And I think this is really important. And some people they can feel the purpose strongly, like I'm here to do this. Yeah. But we can also cultivate and find that. So it goes together with passion. Yeah. And then, of course, combine all of this in with making money. I think a way to create a new society is also to cultivate an entrepreneur mindset in many people and understand that they can actually make a living from the passion, from the purpose, using their pleasure to become more powerful. Yeah. And also to understand the distorted ways of money, because money is also so edgy and it has so much potential, but it's so much limiting beliefs of how much money I can make, and not because I'm from this culture, I'm a woman, this happened to me, and blah, 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 blah. This is all bullshit. You know, we can learn to understand that we can manifest as much as we want. Yeah. Absolutely. And it's really, really, I think it's really important for a woman to be independent, financially independent, because we never know what's happening. Yeah. But that we can support ourselves and self-source is really important.
Well, great share, Susanna. You shared about 5 P's. And, you know, like, I just want to point out a few things. You talked about, you know, using your passion, you know, making profit, and live on your purpose every single day. I think we forget that we have one life. Living on those trauma, living on the past is not way of life. It's not worth living. What you want to live on is your true purpose. Yeah. Where you are created. Ask yourself question, where am I created for? Yeah. You know, find your true purpose. You know, very interesting. And I always love about when you talk, you know, using your feminine energy, using your energy to bring you out. And that's something we all lacking, you know, unless someone like yourself who studied or who is teaching, we don't know how to use the energy. Is finding a way of bringing the energy out and use it for good. Yeah. You know, and you know, you talked about is heals you, because when you have all the endorphin release in your brain, you are calm. You know, you are happy. And sometimes as a woman, as a mother, housewife, whatever people role is, you forget to look after yourself. You don't dress up, you don't put it. You just like, I've got to feed my kids, I've got my in-laws. You know, we come from different society, different role and responsibility, but we forget us. Yes, we got role and responsibility, doesn't mean you forget yourself. So it's really important to take care of yourself. And you know, so fantastic point, Susanna. That's absolutely great, you know, what you shared. Yeah, go on.
I want to say, when you say this, because it's so very typical women, you know, we are born caregivers, like this in our DNA.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and what you say is to remember to care for ourselves, because this is also the source of power and confidence, because often this idea that we have to sacrifice, also not healthy. Yeah, it's like, to remember that I don't need to sacrifice myself for anybody else. Of course, my child, you know, I'm here to take care of my child, absolutely. But to remember that of course I need to take care of myself, because we give more when we give from a full cup.
Absolutely.
From real generosity. Yeah.
Yeah, and that brings me to what you said. When we take care of ourselves more, we can take care of our loved one. Yeah. But also you mentioned about money, because our limiting belief, whatever belief we've been brought up with, like money is evil, don't give, you know, don't keep it, give everything away. And I did that. I gave all my, for 20 years career, I gave everything away, because my dad did give away everything. I didn't keep any money. And now I become self-employed. Now I'm looking at it. If I can earn more, I can give more instead of giving away immediately. Exactly. So, you know, you can create a bigger business, then you can impact more. Yeah. So is giving that limiting belief that, you know, you are worth it and you should be charging for your time. I give loads of free service, which is essential, but you can't give free service all your life. No, you have to have a balance. And more you earn, more you learn, more you earn, and more you can give. So it's really important to kind of like take care of your business yourself, so you can help others as well, you know.
Yes, exactly. And I think that's a great formula that you just said, that the more you earn, the more you learn, and the more you earn, you can give, because it's just money is just a game. It's just energy. It's just an energy. And if we sit and hold it tight, we become greedy, stingy, and we start to suffer. You know, there are multi-millionaires who just suffer because they're so stingy with their money.
Yeah, you don't enjoy life.
No, it's like a false idea of safety and joy, but this is not what it's about. It's like, I believe that it's time to live. Yeah, people don't know how to live. We are so survival based, you know, we have to keep it and hold it for ourselves and do it for ourselves. Like, no, start to live, share, become more alive, awaken. Yeah,
absolutely. Yes, definitely we need to live our life.
Yes.
And yeah. Okay, great. I've got a final question to ask you, Susanna. You've shared lots of tips, lots of ideas in your journey. What I want to ask you is, if you were to leave one thoughts with our audience, what would that be?
Yeah. Wow. There's like different ones popping up. I want to live with two. Yeah.
Yeah,
and
sure.
there are probably more behind that as well. But one that is really important, that it can be a little bit disturbing to hear, is if you cannot ask for what you want, what do you do instead? If you cannot ask for what you want, what do you do instead? Okay. And there's a whole concept beneath that. Yeah, but I leave that for the audience to chew on. And then the second part is to remember that you always have a choice. Nobody has the authority to decide over you, to do anything against you, to decide over your body. You can do whatever you want. And I trust that I speak to healthy people who want to do good in the world and are kind to each other. So you always have a choice. Nobody has the power to decide over you.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Susanna. Great question to live with. And also great tip is, we all have a choice.
Yeah.
We can, choose to live happy, or we can choose to live miserably and, keep dwelling on the past.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, and if we decide to choose happy, live life and stay happy. Exactly. We only have one life. So fantastic, exactly. Susanna. Well, thank you very much. Thank you for sharing your tips and everything. If people want to connect with you, what's the best way to connect with you?
Yeah, so, well, I'm both on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram, and you can also look at my website, sannabeatrice.com. And you can send me an email if you have a question. Yeah, there is a contact info, so you're welcome to connect with me directly.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I'll put, you'll be tagged into all the posts, so people will see, they can connect with you as well. Well, thank you very much for your time. Audience, stay tuned for more videos, but please do like and share our videos, because there's loads of tips, and you never know, when you share it, it might help someone out there who definitely need the help. So please do share and stay tuned for more videos. And bye for now. Bye.